Balogun of Ibakuta. I think he has forgotten who I am.
We can settle this matter privately. It does not have to go to the Babajiro.
It does.
If it goes to the Babajiro, they will cut off his head.
Then so be it. Odejimi committed a grave offense, and it's tantamount to punishment. No warrior disobeys me, the Balogun of Ibakuta. I have come to collect that debt. A life for a life. If Odejimi is set free, then that debt has been paid.
You've heard that no one disobeys the Balogun. So we're going to put that to test on the show this morning. We have joining us. Bade is smart. I mean, multi-potentialite. Give that to him.
Yes,
actor, director, host. The list goes on and on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the morning brief.
Thank you so much. Great being here.
What happens if they disobey Balogun?
Well, the head goes to the gallows.
In 2024? And that just speaks, I know, right, in 2024, and that just speaks to what you bring on stage.
Yes.
I mean, behind the scenes, at home, you're one thing, and then on stage, on the screen, wherever it is, you switch and you're that thing. You know, Marv and I joke that an actor, for example, who's probably just an everyday person, maybe just rides a simple Toyota, you know, gets on scene and is a billionaire or is a president, and guess what, you believe it. So next time you see that actor in real life, you're almost tempted to say, give me $1 billion. It's like, I don't have this. So speak to us first about that part of you, the acting bit.
So the reality here is one of the core elements of being an actor is your ability to live many lives. It's very essential that for everybody who watches a movie and they see you, they do not see you, they see the character. And so method acting is one core element expected of an actor. How you embody your natural self and you wear the core element of being an actor. And I enjoy doing that because truth be told is naturally I find myself a storyteller. And it's just always fun how you can live many lives. In fact, I say it a lot that one of the beauty of being an actor is the fact that you can actually be anything you want to be without actually being anything you want to be. I can decide to be a doctor just because the role says I'm a doctor. I will perform a surgery, but I'm not a trained doctor. But I will successfully perform a surgery as an actor. I can live many lives. I can be you once I'm casted to be you.
That's a good side. Let's talk about the downside, which has to do with typecasting. Big names, Patience Ozoku, and other people like Okol, like Kanayo, they are victims of typecasting. So people just feel that, okay, you play this role consistently, you may be this thing. And can that eventually affect your ability to play other roles? Because if somebody is a comedian, for instance, and is used to being in comic roles or comedic roles, at the end of the day, if you put the person in a very serious role, the audience may not be able to switch just almost immediately. How do you manage that kind of character crisis?
Okay, so first thing first is have it in mind that only brilliant actors get typecasted because they've successfully been able to convince you that they are, and that's why you're typecasting them in that role. So they are brilliant actors. However, for a producer, he looks and then say, why do I need to stress my brain when you can bring that element without any stress? So he wants you in that role again. That's for the production end of things. Now, for an actor, it gets challenging because every actor wants to be tested to their depth limit. We want to be able to say, I want to be serious today, I want to be this tomorrow. I give you a practical example. I shot recently, and when they were casting me, the production was like, well, he's too serious. Why should we cast him for a comedic role? And somebody said, no, let's give him a chance. He can pull it off. And I was given a chance. And I pulled it off. And the lady was like, wow, you have that much depth. I said, that's the problem with you guys. And it's true. We enjoy the typecasting to some extent because, again, it comes with some perks, especially when they love your character. It comes with some perks. People are like, oh my God, it's the one. And then it comes with some downside. I mean, we have actors who have been harassed just because of a character they played. After playing this character here, I had a lot of people who felt I was naturally wicked. And I had to do a lot of convincing.
Are you? Let's take this moment to just, are you? Even your laughter, it has that.
Well, the truth is, if it's what it demands, it's what it gives.
Yeah.
But the truth is, because we have a depth of level. It's this pure thing. When you meet an actor naturally, he can give you anything you want, depending on what you're asking of the person. That's the beauty of being an actor.
And you know, I saw recently Denzel Washington was cast in a villain
In
role.
Gladiator.
You know,
Man.
for the first, I almost cried when the villain died. You felt that way, like don't kill him, even though he's a villain, but it's Denzel, right? We're used to seeing Denzel. It's a good guy, the all-round, you know, correct guy that you love. So it's a very interesting conversation, really, and I think it's two things. One, also having a conversation with directors, those who cast, and say, you know what, allow these people to explore. The fact that they did well as being the villain doesn't mean they can't do well being the lover boy or, you know, all of that. So I think it's a conversation we need to have, and I'm glad we're having it. But we have to talk about your other parts, right? Because you're not just an actor, you're also a director. You do events as well. So is this a thing of Yoruba saying on Okonwoja? Or the Oja just came to you and like, you know what, bring it.
So I think it's not about being an actor, being an MC or being a director. It's actually about being a creative. So I am a core creative. And from the get-go, even I remember when I was going to go to school and I had done well, a lot of the family felt I should study law. And I said, no, I enjoy communication. I want to be in the creative space. So I had gone to study communications at Bowen University because that's what I wanted to do. At the moment I came out, I'd put my hands first with radio. Strike TV, but I just knew I wanted to be a creative. And so I had layers to me, started with hosting events and then went into the acting space. But I knew also there was a part of me that wanted to tell stories. So I went back to study filmmaking and then I went behind the cameras. And I think these days I enjoy a lot directing reality shows. I mean, with Grace, I've been able to work in a number of high-end reality shows. Even working on one presently, which belongs to the family.
Funded forward.
Funded forward,
absolutely.
Yes.
and that's great. So you've done, what are some of the reality shows?
So I do content directing with Big Brother Nigeria. I do content directing. I've done with what's it called, Project Film West Africa. Also with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Style Magnet, also presently showing also. And yes, Funding Forward, so quite a number.
I can understand perfectly. To be a content director behind the scenes is a lot of work. I've been on those kind of sets before and I know sitting down for 30 days and 60 days is not a joke. Nigeria would say it's not beast. But the federal government under the President Bade has actually given creatives a seat on the table.
Yes.
Art, culture, tourism, it's a lot of things. Anyway, creative economy, I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Musawa is in charge of that, the honorable minister. But it's one thing to give you a seat on the table. From where you sit, I always like to ask that question. What do you see that is being presented on the table? It's one thing to be given a seat, it's another thing to make a presentation on the table. What is being presented on the table? How is the industry receiving it, and what exactly is it?
And so, right now, the thing is, the government has stretched out their hand to say, hey, we're willing to work with you on this. I mean, we've even had it with past governments. We want to say, okay, we have either these grants available or we have this policy available to work with. I personally don't think that the entertainment industry in Nigeria is willing to stretch their hand back if the government is willing to meet us where we want to be met. Because there are numbers of things that I feel that the industry needs to get to be able to enjoy those policies. Number one is, I keep saying it till tomorrow, I think it's about time more the labor union recognizes the fact that entertainers are actually a labor force and not just people who are exercising hobbies. I mean, I give you an example. Labor goes on strike tomorrow and nobody really cares whether they are shooting a movie or not, because nobody really puts that audience as entertainers really. So we want, and those are the moment they see us as a core part of the labor, I mean, the income generated within the entertainment space is huge. And the more attention put in that space can play a lot of role in the growth of the economy in Nigeria. And so when the government sees us as a stronger labor force, the structures that the entertainment industries are crying about becomes much more solidified. And then people then know that, oh, if I am in the Actors Guild of Nigeria, it basically means that government recognizes me as a part of a body, just like they recognize the Nigerian Medical Association, and they just recognize every other thing. And so that's why I'm saying government needs to meet us where we need to meet them, and so that there is a worth and a better result for what you're putting on the table for us. It's not just a gathering of people who are expressing hobbies. These are people who are doing core professions just the way a doctor is a doctor, a musician is a musician, and an actor is an actor. Core elements like that, yes.
So It's great to have you break it down, and I think it speaks to why there needs to be education. A lot of people take it for granted. I can wing it. You know, I can do this thing. I don't need script. Just put me on the stage. I know what to do. But there needs to be education, right?
Yes,
and how would you say we've done well in that sense, to be able to standardize our own industry? There's a larger industry, and there's our own industry. There are certain things you expect from Bollywood. There's a way they do their things.
Yeah.
There's a standard, cameras, lights, and all, but there's a way they shoot their movies. So that's Bollywood. Hollywood. A lot of people now love Korean series and all of that. But back here in Nigeria, have we been able to ensure that it's standardized such that anybody can go to school, study, and you are sure that whatever the person is churning out is excellent?
Okay, so like I said, before your question came in, I'd said it's very important that these bodies are recognized so that proper structures can be put in place. Now, the truth is we are all guided by the government itself and what's it called now, the rules of the government in this country. And so for me to say that, for me to be an actor, it takes training, it means that there are laws guiding it. If I break that rule and I say I'm not refined enough to act, and then I can say, by the federal government, I think I would face a punishment if I'm not trained enough for this. Besides also, we have a lot of personnel within the industry who are creating film schools, who are creating institutions just to make sure we churn out professionals within the space also. So a lot is going into it. I mean, I had to go to film school. I had to go through a reality TV show some years ago. I had to go through a number of trainings to be where I am today.
Which one pays more, acting or directing?
So you were going to ask another question?
No, because people will say, acting is good, but the money comes more for a director. Some will say, no, as an actor, you have the exposure, you have all of that.
So the thing is, it's not about one is better than the other.
No, not better.
I mean pay-wise. Yeah. But it's about the brand that you are, and also your negotiation skills when it comes to the table.
No, the question is simple.
Yes.
Which pays more?
That's it. That's it. This one not way more. So again, both of them give. When they need to give.
We must thank you so much for coming. I'm hoping that infrastructure will be upskilled in the industry. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. Whether we have a single sound stage in Nigeria. I mean, when you have Tyler Perry, for instance, in Atlanta, has about 6 or 9 sound stages where you can create anything within those sound stages. You can act anything without traveling to anywhere within those sound stages.
It's why we need very, very strong investors. And for investors to come in, investors need to know that I am safe. He needs to know that there are policies and laws guiding his investment. He needs to know that the industry is structured enough for him to put in the millions. So that's what he needs to bring.
Amazon and Prime are saying hello. as we talk about this, because we know what happened in that space and how a lot of them say, we're moving on to other things, but still doesn't change the fact that this is a very viable industry, and we have to fix our things. But we have to thank you so much for sharing from multi-potentiality. We're speaking with Bade Smart, actor, director, host. Thank you for your time. Wish you the very best.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. What a show it's been here today. Tackled some of the pressing issues, but we're not done just yet. Sunrise Daily is next. To have a great day, I'm Kayode Okikili.
Mine is take your time and read the tax bill and digest it for yourself so that when you're making arguments, you're coming from an informed position. Thank you for watching. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga. Bye-bye.